Tyrod Taylor will stay with the Buffalo Bills. They restructured his contract. He's in the middle of a 5-year deal. Is he a good enough quarterback to be an answer? I don't know about the answer, but an answer for Buffalo.
Yes, I thought it was madness that they were even thinking about not having him back. Look, he's not in the upper third, but he's solidly towards the top half of that middle third, and he was not the problem in Buffalo. What he's had to deal with as far as new offensive coordinators and the drama of the Rex Ryan era and the Doug Marrone era wasn't a piece of cake either. I think Tyrod Taylor has played pretty well, and he has shown that he can be an NFL quarterback and play a pretty consistent game. He's a dual threat quarterback. I thought it was crazy to even think about letting him get out on the market because, again, who's replacing him?
Well, that's the question.
Well, what are you bringing in, and how do you know you're going to be any better off? Unless you could tell me who they were guaranteed to get, I thought it was a no-brainer to get something.
Well, they talked to Hoyer. I'm led to believe, but Hoyer's he's just a guy who's kicked around the National Football League. He's had a couple of chances. He had a chance with Cleveland. He's had opportunities to play elsewhere, but he's just a guy.
He's not a starting.
I love Hoyer for what he is, but he's about to sign with his 7th team in 8 years.
Well, he's a guy. He can play a little bit. He's good number 2 or number 3.
But that's what's so confusing.
The longer he plays, the more vulnerable he becomes. And
I don't argue.
He played lights out to get to 7-4 for the Browns, 3 years ago. But
he looked pretty good. Yeah,
yeah.
But I mean, I'm not going to ask you to explain the Buffalo Bills to me on one day. We'd be here for hours. But I mean, you've got the Tyrod Taylor thing going. Stephon Gilmore, who was once the answer, he's headed somewhere else. You just don't get a sense of a team that really understands what it has when it has it, or what it's losing, or has an overall plan, do you?
No. They signed 2 fullbacks the other day. When's the last time an NFL team signed 2 fullbacks in the same day? Now it was Tolbert and DeMarco, right? Patrick DeMarco.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't even know Rick Dennison, the new offensive coordinator. He kind of likes that zone blocking scheme. He's lighter, quicker, more athletic offensive lineman. That's not kind of what Buffalo has. Cordy Glenn, Richie Incognito. What are they even running? Again, we're in a state of flux when it comes to Buffalo. Like the head coaching hire. Think Sean McDermott's a sharp guy. Hope they give him time. But I can't tell you right now what the Bills are, because I think they're figuring that out themselves.
Yeah, and it's hard to blame Taylor for the performance of the team while he's been there, because you have to have questions about not only the leadership but those people around him. And yet, at the same time, he's not a guy that jumps out at me. I mean, I accept your analysis of him, but in my mind, he's just a guy. I'd be looking for a young quarterback to see if we can develop a guy, because I'm not sure. I think in a year or two, they're going to say enough of this. We can't win with Tyrod Taylor. And it may not be his fault, but that's how teams look at quarterbacks.
And I think that's where they were at. That's why they didn't want to go all in and commit to him. They owed him almost $31 million. They didn't think he deserved that contract, even though they just gave it to him in a kind of prove-it year last year. But they wanted to go to some middle ground, because they looked around and said, "Well, wait a minute here. We understand we're in the middle of the pack. We're 8-8 material right now or so. But let's not go to 4-12. Let's not do something stupid and give ourselves." No shot to even be in playoff contention for most of the season. And I think that's where a restructuring was in order. And they gave him a number that's more befitting where he fits into the hierarchy of NFL quarterbacks.